Hey everybody, this is Jerry and I'm glad you can join me. Today we're going to talk about the 2017 Suzuki GSX-R1000R and what to do about those ugly turn signals and blinkers. How are we going to get rid of those things? So stick with me because that's coming up right now. Okay, so now guys, what we're going to do is we're going to remove one of the panels. So we're going to get to this front turn signal right here. There's some small screws got to be taken out here. There's one right up here. You got one right there on the bottom. Okay. You got another one right there. Okay, they're two different sizes. In addition to the 4 bolts I showed you, approximately right in the center of the screen you're watching, there's a tab right here. Okay, and you got to pull it out. Now it has a center to it. You got to pull it out. You can probably see it right now. What I did is I just took a screwdriver from the other side like that, okay, and gently popped it. Okay, now once it pops like that, like a little kind of like a little mushroom look, you should just be able to grab it with your hand. Okay, you pull it all the way out. See, that's it. So that's what you get when you get it all out. Looks like that. Okay, just a little pull-out tab. So there's my other ones I just set on all side, right? Now the size of the Allen key socket styles you're going to need. Let me look real quick. This one is 4mm. Okay, so the smaller of the two is 4mm, and then the other one that one's 5mm. Okay, so for these two big ones over here, which are along the bottom of the body work, okay, that's going to be the 5mm, and the two smaller ones are on the top. Those are 4mm. And you got this little tab right here that you just saw me just take out. I want to show you guys what this looks like just when you're taking it off, okay? Now on the very bottom down here, you'll notice that you have to separate it from the centerpiece right by the radiator, right? So that's all along here. There's little clips all along here, okay? You got to carefully press the black piece in while you're pushing or pulling this out, right? You just got to keep working and eventually it comes off, okay? That's after you got all the screws out. You notice I have all the screws out, right? They're all out, right? This one's out. The one over here is out, right? They're all out. And then right behind this piece is a really large tab that pushes in, a big thick one like this, okay? I'll see if I can get a shot of that for you now. Just wanted to show you what this looks like before I take it all the way off, for those of you that are following along, right? Okay, so you can see right there is a pretty good sized tab, right? Let me get my finger out of the way for you. That's that piece right there, right? Okay. And it pushes into this rubber stopper. Get a picture of that. Goes right into there. Okay, just above the top of the water pump hose. The water pump's down there, hose comes up, so just above that is this, you'll see that's where that tab goes. Okay, the tab, which is right here, goes into there, okay? On that one, you just gotta get a firm grip right here at the top. I kind of took it by the side and I slowly pulled nice and gentle, and eventually it pops out, okay? Alright, so a little bit ways back, you can kind of see what it looks like before I finally take it all the way off, right? Okay. Finally got the panel off, okay? So just want to show you a few things here. So you can see that the little electrical connector that connects to the blinker. Okay. Now, there's a few tabs up here that are a little bit of a pain in the butt to get off. Okay, there's one right here. And there's another one right there at the bottom. Okay, those are not like the push-in tab like before where you pull the tab out from the other side, kind of pops out. These don't pop out. How did I know the difference? I slowly worked until I figured it out. These, you just pull the body panel off. You got to put your hand up against there and pull the body panel away, and it'll eventually pop off. So yeah, those are a bit of a pain in the butt. And there's one right here too. Okay. You got 1, 2, 3. We're going to flip over the panel. Okay. Obviously this is a turn signal. And on this side, we just flip over and it has a 10mm socket. And it's a 10mm nut, you just take it off, okay? That's pretty simple. Let's just loosen this up. Right? Take it off. That's it. It's got a little black washer here. Okay. 2 little components. And then it just slides right out. Okay. Set the body panel aside for now. What we're going to replace it with is the hot bodies has a flush mount LED blinkers, okay? So there you have it, hot bodies racing flush mount LED blinkers, okay? Cut off the end from the stock turn signal. I checked Hot Body's website. They don't have instructions for this up yet for this model. The 2017 Suzuki GSX-R1000, in my case the 1000R, the double R, right? So I had to wire this up to their light and take it over to the bike and figure it out. So the black wire from Hot Body's turn signal will go to the black and white on the Suzuki harness, the stock harness, okay? And the red will go to the black and red. This is the other side of the bike, or the throttle side of the bike, so we just repeated the process and took off the panel on this side. It's identical to the other side. All the 4 main screws and tabs, just as I showed on the clutch side of the bike, are exactly the same. So just follow the same process and the panel will come off the same way. So this is the other side, the side I just took out, right? And there's the turn signal. That's the first one we took out, which we already took care of the wiring. And you can see the turn signal right here, the stock turn signal. This is for the US. Okay, United States, they're forcing us to deal with these huge, pulpous, nasty looking turn signals. And you can see the wiring on the other side. Let me flip this over. Okay, that's the back side. And there's the wiring harness, right? Let me zoom in on that a little bit. Right? So it's the same thing. We're just going to clip this off. 10mm socket, and on the back side of the panel for the turn signal, there's just a little nut there, and I'm just going to unscrew it. I'm going to untighten, I should say, and take it off, right? So I already had it loosened, so I'm just going to loosen the rest of the way. Now there's a little tab here that holds the wire in, and it's only on the throttle side of the bike because this part of the panel is near the radiator on that side, and so they don't want this wire to get hot, so they put a little tab there that you fold over, just to keep the wire out of the way, right? Okay, so I'll take the nut off, set it aside, take the little tab off. Just make sure when you're done, you put that back on. Okay, out comes the turn signal, as you can see, pops right out. Easy peasy, 1, 2, 3. There's a little bit of a countersink black washer. All right, so now we're gonna clip off this end with as much wire as we can get, right? And we're gonna solder it to that. So now I'm just going to cut the wire close as I can. There's a little bit of a plastic sheave here, okay? So I'm going to cut it really close to that to get as much wire as I can, okay? Cut it right there and cut it right there. Really close. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here, okay? And that's it. This wire harness is actually different colors, you know. Leave it up to manufacturers to change the colors for each side, right? Anyway, on this side, green goes with red. Okay, so the green from the Suzuki stock terminal, as you're seeing here, one of the two, depends which side of the bike you're on. This one came off of the, I think the throttle side. Yeah, the throttle side. That one for me on this bike was green lead and black and white. Okay, so the green goes to red because the Hot Body's wire is the same for both LED turn signals. That doesn't change. So just remember, green goes to red, okay? Now you'll notice that the solder turned out really good here. I mean, this was a really good solder. Now the key to soldering, guys, is you take the soldering iron
and you heat the wire, okay? You press the iron down on the bare wire, twist them together a little bit. I twisted them in a straight line because it's better for them to be in a straight line, right? I twist them in a straight line. Take your time, get them twisted so they're lined up straight together like this, okay? And then you take the soldering iron and you press down on the bare wire before you use any solder. Just heat up that wire really good. Now once the bare wire is heated up, okay, then you can lay in your solder, which you can get this at, you know, you can walk into any electronic store. I don't know if Radio Shacks are pretty much not in business anymore, or at least not in my area, but you can order online, whatever you need to get yourself some thin solder, okay? A roll of solder looks like that right there. This is some old solder I got laying around, but okay. Once the wire's heated up, you literally can just touch the solder close to the iron and the wire, and it'll just start working right down the wire. It works really good. I didn't even have to do both sides, guys. I just did one side, and gravity pulled the solder to the other side. Okay, but you should check both sides just to be safe. Okay, so this is wired up. We're going to move on. So there it is, guys. I mean, look at those flush mounted turn signals from Hot Bodies mounted onto the 2017 Suzuki GSX-R1000R panels. Bodywork, right? I mean, look at that. They just look so good. Amazing, yeah? Turned out really good. Compare that to those ugly looking things down there. Look at that. Look at the difference. And that's what was in there before. And that's what's in there now. You can see that the wire harness is hanging down there. I just walk up to the bike, clip them on there, and be done with it. Now, when you put the wire harness and clip it, when you're unclipping the wire harness and reclipping it, make sure you pull the little tab out. You don't press in, you pull out. On the little wire harness, just pull the tab out. And then you push it in and let it go. The other thing I recommend is, even after you put black tape, electrical tape on the connections like I have right here, after you do the soldering, I put some heat wrap on there, right? Just wrap the heat wrap out there or slide it on there before you make your final connection, and then pull it down and just heat them up a little bit and shrink it right up. That's a really good idea. Keeps things from coming loose, especially when you're going to be doing some serious hammer down and wheelie time, baby. A lot of vibrations, got to keep things together, right? So look at that, guys. I mean, you can't even see a turn signal sticking out from the edge. Look how perfectly flush mounted that turn signal is. Look at that. Just turned out so good. Okay, but back away. Amazing. All right. Bike just looks so much sleeker. You know, this big turn signal sticking out of there. Just so much better flush mounted, beautiful look. Fairly easy installation as long as you take your time taking the panels off and putting it back on. Well, there you go, guys. Putting turn signals on this bike, flush mounted turn signals, wasn't that hard to do. Only thing I recommend is take your time when you're taking the body panels off. Don't be in a hurry. Just go back and watch my video and you can see how the body panels come off. Same thing when you go to put them back on. Just take your time, put them back on nice and slow. Pay attention to all the details so you make sure all the connection points are put on correctly. You know what, guys, the bike turned out so good with these flush mounted turn signals. I'm fired up. We're going to do some more videos on getting rid of the turn signals in the back of the bike and putting an undertail in there. Listen, guys, I know if you watched this far, that means you enjoyed this video. Go ahead and click that subscribe button down below and give me a thumbs up on this video. Until next time, guys, keep the hammer down and the front wheel off the ground.